President Bola Tinubu inaugurates roads in Abuja, says his administration will invest heavily in infrastructure to stimulate economic growth. Nigerian Air Force converts fuel tankers into refueling Bowsers to enhance air operations. And Nigeria police dismantles WhatsApp fraud syndicate targeting high-profile Nigerians, recovers millions of naira in illicit funds. Hello and welcome to the evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I'm Dennis Adigunloye. Now, demonstrating his understanding of the importance of quality infrastructure to national developments, President Bola Tinubu says his administration will continue to invest in infrastructure to stimulate the general growth of the country. The president said this as he inaugurated arterial road N16, connecting the Shehu Shagari Way with the Wole Soyinka Way Jahi in Abuja. State House correspondent Musbah Damahab reports.
The new season of project inaugurations in the FCT continues with the arterial road N16. The road, a continuation of the Shehu Shagari Way, starts from the popular Nikon Junction through Gishiri Village and Wole Soyinka Way, Jahi to Katampe. It includes an interchange, 2 bridges, a flyover with street lighting. The 3.7-kilometer dual carriageway was initiated by the current administration and executed in 8 months.
And progress of our people in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
For President Bola Tinubu, this is continuation of commitment to urban transformation by his administration, particularly having realized the underdevelopment of the Abuja Master Plan.
This road will ease traffic, congestion around central Abuja, and improved connectivity to developing districts such as Katampe and Jahi. It will stimulate housing and business growth while serving as a foundation for future city integration. We recognize that our nation's development is linked to the quality of infrastructure, connecting people, cities, and industries. There's no way industrialization will flourish without good roads.
The president appreciated the cooperation of the indigenes in the actualization of the project.
For the first time, they will pay their compensation 200%. I said, look, I don't want anything that will stop the construction of this road. And when they were paid, they not only paid, I made sure that they were given other areas to go and live. The essence of renewed hope is to make you to be happy. You have lost confidence in government. But now, the president has said, no, you can't lose confidence. You can't. Government is here to make you happy.
We are so elated to be part of this important, great milestone and also tremendous achievement. We say thank you for the continuous support and commitment to the infrastructure development in the federal capital city and also the satellite town and Nigeria at large.
Commemoration of the Renewed Hope administration's 2nd anniversary continues with more projects lined up by the FCT administration for inauguration. In Abuja, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
The 68th UN Commission for Africa meeting has got underway in Nigeria, focusing on innovation, AI, and creative industries in tourism. Vice President Kashim Shettima called on African countries to adopt policies that promote eco-friendly tourism and emphasize tourism's significance in economic diversification, citing its potential to create jobs, generate revenue, and promote cultural exchange. Gufan Shaju Gwanyi reports.
As the sounds of the drums echoed through the room and the sway of the body to the rhythm of the songs, the target is simple: to awaken the buried tourism potentials of African countries. The Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, is pushing the conversation about the rich cultural diversity of African countries. He says tourism is beyond just paying a tour visit. It cuts deep into the core of a nation's economic potential.
Apart from its economic value, tourism has the potential to enhance local entrepreneurship and community development by supporting small businesses such as tour operators, local artisans, hospitality providers and service industries. Tourism creates new opportunities for entrepreneurship.
This year's theme, boosting social impact and education and tourism through AI, innovation and creative industries, underscores this point. But the future of African posterity depends on how boldly we harness our culture, creativity, and technology to empower people.
Meeting is very important. Let's talk, let's discuss, let's argue sometimes about food and make Africa a nice showcase for everyone.
You should see the sector as a sector that can provide development for a new generation and enhance the social contiguity of our nation.
As the stage is now set at the 68th CAF conference, there's no doubt African member states are ready to look within, highlight Africa's tourism potential to the world, and increase economic benefits across countries. In Abuja, Gufan Shaju Gwanyi, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has reaffirmed its commitments to enacting laws that will truly reflect the hopes and aspirations of Nigerians. This pledge was made during a citizens' roundtable organized by the House leadership and part of activities to mark the midterm anniversary of the 10th Assembly. National Assembly correspondent Mitaira Ikben reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can...
This roundtable, attended by government functionaries, civil society organizations, and leaders of professional bodies, is part of the 10th Assembly's quest to operate an open parliament that captures citizens' aspirations.
It's been 2 years that subsidy was removed. And as representatives of the people, what have you done to interrogate the savings?
The issues of older persons are being neglected at every level.
Education, health, and agriculture. Is there anything the 10th Assembly is doing in this regard?
These questions elicit responses from lawmakers and policymakers who say they are here to listen and act on citizens' proposals.
The 2025 budget that is have gotten the attention of the legislature to the extent that we included 3.52 trillion naira as the budget for the Ministry of Education, which is the highest. That's never happened before.
You can ask your member for a copy of the national budget if you can't get it on the website of Ministry of Finance. So you can even look at projects that are in your constituency.
In our various constituency projects, we are constantly revamping healthcare facilities, buying ambulances, supplying drugs, and providing resources for training nurses and teachers. At least I do this in my constituency, and you can go and verify.
On the issue of the fumbling of JAMB and WAEC, the House is doing an investigation to ensure that they get to the root of this challenge.
We focus on making sure that we retain investment, that businesses operating within the shores of Nigeria have a conducive environment.
Between 2023 and 2025, we have seen an improvement and stabilization of food prices. We are at a point where we are even caught between price stabilization, between welfare of the consumer and also welfare of the farmer.
There was advocacy for decentralization of the citizens' engagement.
meeting the real Nigerians who are out there in the rural communities.
Because that is one way posterity will remember us, but most importantly, it gives us opportunity to really measure whether or not we are effective.
Through such citizens' engagement, the House of Representatives aims to create a more inclusive and responsive legislative process that will truly represent the will of the Nigerian people. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The Niger State government has awarded a contract for the construction of a 12-kilometer road project from Mokwa to Rabat worth 7 billion naira. Mukhtar Wowo reports that the governor also directed MDAs to undertake a complete survey of the waterways and topography of the state.
Mohammed Umar Bago disclosed this when he paid an on-the-spot assessment and sympathy visit to the people of Mokwa on the recent flood disaster that killed many and destroyed property worth millions of naira. The road project, expected to commence immediately, will include the construction of 4 bridges to connect the 2 communities of Mokwa and Rabat. Governor Umar Bago directed relevant MDAs to take a survey of the waterways and topography of Niger State with a view to relocating people off waterways to avert a repeat of the disaster.
We have asked that everybody that lives on the water line, especially where we had the unfortunate flood incidents, to be evacuated. We're going to create banks so that people don't build on top of water lines. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of siltation of River Niger, and islands have been formed. A lot of people took it for granted. And this is one of the consequences of when people build on waterways.
A symbolic distribution of relief items was made to selected households. The governor was also in Rabat to assess the bridge that was washed away by the flood, where he used the moment to sympathize with the people of the community. In Mokwa, Mukhtar Wowo, NTA News.
Now, once upon a time, the sight of dark clouds over flood-prone towns like Hadejia, Bernin-Kudu and Guri signaled more than just rain. They foreshadowed devastation. Year after year, floods ravaged homes, submerged farmlands, and left communities grappling with losses. But now a transformation is underway. In 2024, Jigawa State began rewriting its history, moving from reaction to readiness, from despair to resilience. As the 2025 weather forecast from NIMET raise fresh concerns, Mohamed Musa Askira reports on the bold steps the state government is taking to protect its people and their future.
For the first time in recent memory, the people of Jigawa could breathe a little easier thanks to deliberate effort by the state government. The devastation from seasonal flooding was reduced. The Nigeria Meteorological Agency (NIMET) had warned of heavy rains, but unlike in previous years, this time the warnings were met not with panic but with preparations. The heavy rainfalls between August and September last year brought only isolated flash floods, no widespread devastation, no emergency shelters overflowing with displaced persons, and no major roads submerged. Experts credit the government's strategic infrastructure project. Over 150 kilometers of drainage channels, reinforced dikes across low-lying areas, and community awareness campaigns that empowered locals to act before disaster struck.
The river Kapinausa Hadeja is still under dredging, and also the river from Dabi to Guri, we are dredging it, and we are doing it year in, year out. We are working hard throughout the year to see that we have taken preventive measures to ensure that Allah, with the grace of Allah, we are safe from our flooding. Our farmland, our houses, our towns are safe from flood.
Now, as 2025 rainy season approaches, the people of Jigawa are not just hoping, they are preparing, building on the momentum of a state that has turned the tide against the nature's fury.
With the river mitigation, we now have peace of mind and feel safe. All the villages along the riverside are happy with this mitigation and the embankment.
In the face of climate change and unpredictable weather patterns, Jigawa offers a powerful story of resilience, innovation, and above all, hope. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Let's take a short break. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
Pleased to announce encouraging news from the National Bureau of Statistics, which released the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, for April 2025 only yesterday. According to the report, the headline inflation rate for April stood at 23.71%, This represents a decrease of 0.52% from the 24.23% recorded in March 2025. Similarly, month-on-month inflation dropped by a notable 2.04% from 3.90% in March to 1.86% in April. This, of course, did not just happen by chance. The President is focused and is determined, and his determination and his interventions are clearly paying off. The benefits of reform, though gradual, are real and measurable.
This is NTA News 24.
Welcome back. In line with the digitalization policy of the federal government, the entire civil and public service will go paperless by 31st December this year. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, made this known at a World Press briefing ahead of the 2025 Civil Service Week and the International Civil Service Conference, scheduled for 20th to 28th of June in Abuja. Haman Jabani reports that the head of the Civil Service emphasized the importance of media collaboration in providing Nigerians with accurate and professional reportage.
The International Civil Service Conference is said to be a major highlight of the 2025 Civil Service Week, aims at fast-tracking much-needed transformation in the nation's civil service. With the theme, Rejuvenate, Innovate and Accelerate, the conference will feature renowned speakers from Asia, Europe and Africa, and is expected to attract over 5,000 participants both physically and virtually. The goal is to promote innovation, share reform strategies and strengthen governance systems that are responsive, accountable and citizen-focused. The long week civil service is expected to be a defining moment in Nigeria's effort to reposition its civil service into modern, development-driven institution capable of leading both at regional and global levels.
To lead a world-class civil service that delivers and accelerates national development. And so with that vision in mind, we opted to begin to engage with civil service leaders and civil servants from across Nigeria and across the globe.
The event will also serve as a reflection of Nigeria's deep commitment to institutional renewal, human capital development, and the ongoing drive towards a 21st century civil service that delivers effectively and equitably to the Nigerian people.
The 2025 Civil Service Week, a significant event in our calendar, will feature a series of spiritually enriching, intellectually engaging, and socially rewarding events designed to celebrate excellence in the public service, reflect on reforms, and promote a unified vision for a stronger civil service.
Responding to questions from journalists, head of the civil service affirmed that the performance management system is on course and digitization effort across the civil service is yielding results, including war rooms and various online platforms, with more innovations on the way to further enhance service delivery. She commended the media for their continued support in recent months and calls for sustainable collaboration and partnership to help inform and engage the Nigerian public effectively. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Another news, the Nigerian Air Force has reconfigured 4 pre-owned fuel tankers into specialized aircraft refueling Bowsers in a strategic push to boost operational efficiency. The initiative, executed under the supervision of the 643 Equipment Supply Depot in Lagos, reflects the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar's resolve to entrench proactive logistics support and deepen maintenance culture while leveraging innovation and resourcefulness across the service. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ehimen Ejodame, indicates that these reconfigured Bowsers represents more than just fuel on wheels. They embody the NAF's drive for self-reliance and operational adaptability. Air Marshal Abubakar said the newly reconfigured Bowsers are set to play a critical role in sustaining ongoing air operations, particularly in counter-terrorism missions and joint force deployments across the country. The move is to significantly ensure rapid and reliable aircraft refueling, and the Nigerian Air Force aims to enhance persistent air presence, optimize turnaround times, and deliver decisive effects in complex operational environments. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Television Authority has stressed the need for effective collaboration with the Nigerian Army in sensitizing the public on the critical role of the civilian population in sharing intelligence in the fight against banditry in the country. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the Director General of the NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, stated this during a visit by the Acting Director, Nigerian Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Apollonia Anele, to the NTA headquarters.
The Nigerian Army has for decades been conducting internal security operations in different parts of the country. This is to safeguard lives and property, paving way for socio-economic development. To enhance these operations, the citizens need to understand the operations and activities of the Army to also facilitate the provision of intelligence report from the grassroots. This informs the visit of the Acting Director, Army Public Relations, to NTA on possible areas of collaboration.
The essence of visiting you today is just to seek ways to collaborate with you. NTA is our own national TV, so whatever we do as a military, we deem it fit that it should be propagated through your medium, being a credible one, and seek for ways that we could better collaborate, tell our own stories.
This request falls in line with NTA mandate, and for the Director General, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, represented by the Executive Director News, Ayo Adewoyi, NTA will leverage its wide reach to sensitize the civilian population on their role in fighting the common enemy of the nation.
There has always been that conflict of trust between the media and the security operatives. When we have better understanding, we'll do it better. For us in the NTA, that is what we are established to do. Trust and the ability to protect the national integrity, that is what we are. We study the situation. We put national interest first in whatever we do.
Lieutenant Colonel Apollina Anele, the first female Nigerian Army Public Relations Officer, was appointed on the 22nd April 2025. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Nigeria Police Force, through its National Cybercrime Center, has dismantled a sophisticated cyber fraud syndicates responsible for hijacking WhatsApp accounts, primarily targeting prominent Nigerians and attempting to defraud their contacts. A statement by the force notes that the operation follows a formal complaint lodged on April 14th. Acting swiftly, the MPF and CCC's cyber intelligence team uncovered the syndicate's calculated scheme, which relied heavily on mobile platform compromise and social engineering tactics. Using advanced digital forensics and high-level investigative techniques, operatives traced the fraudulent activities through multiple Nigerian banks, leading to the freezing of illicit funds worth millions of naira. A key suspect, Onajite Okoro, was arrested in Warri, Delta State. He confessed to collaborating with an accomplice known as Chief Malam Zaki, who he met on Facebook. Okoro admits to registering SIM cards, linking them to various bank accounts, and facilitating funds transfers. His devices and financial records provided further incriminating evidence, while additional syndicate members were identified, but currently remain at large. Efforts to apprehend all suspects and finalize prosecution are ongoing. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force advises the public to adopt secure digital habits, such as enabling multi-factor authentication and verifying messages, even from known contacts. And with that, we conclude the news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigwe.